Huh? All right, it's Karandrin. That's right. Welcome, everybody. Uh, the only role-playing stream that has scat.
Boo boo ba da ba boo boo.
I say,
I.
get it out of your system early.
That's right. So it can build till after the break, and then I'll do some more. Welcome, everybody. This is Karandrin Role Playing. I'm Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir, and welcome to episode 36 of Brise's Tale, our third one of the year. As always, my buddy Max is here to play the Paladin Brise. I should pop that caption up while we're talking, just to remind anybody who's watching and a little new. We use these little cute captions that Restream provides. There's Restream's plug, which I'm getting not paid one dime for. So Brise, say hello to the lovely people, and why don't you give us just a general recap of last episode, and then we will dive into what's going on.
Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. Luckily, I store my dice in my drawer now as of like a couple days ago because also would have had to cross the room to go get them. So, yeah. So, last time, so we've been the past couple episodes exploring this abandoned manor in the Nargas, the Goblin Nation of Nargas in the mountains. And many, many, many rooms, some very like stately. Last time we explored a beautiful dining room and another joined to like a ballroom, and really interesting seeing like the different inhabitants over the years, how the humans and goblins have kind of made their mark on this mansion here. And then we ended the last session kind of going up to the second floor of the mansion through the foyer and encountering this creature called the Dark Lash, and very neatly avoiding a conflict. Actually, I thought it was going to be a kind of a tough fight, but I was able to intimidate it enough, be as a threat enough, I guess, that it thought it should obey me and give me some treasure and leave. So it was pretty nice, pretty good for everybody, all parties involved, for the Dark Lash and for me.
Oh, hey, right. He just basically paid for his life. He may not know that, but he paid. Of course, the fight could have gone the other way. So,
it's true. Very
true. Oh, hey, Quinn. Glad you could join us. I apologize for ducking you yesterday, but I'm going to have that project finished tonight, and I'll send it to you.
I don't apologize for anything.
Yeah, what? You have so much to apologize for. Look at that face. It's just horrible. So we are on the second floor of this manor. It's been long abandoned, and so, as you would expect from ruins, although this place is hardly ruined, but it's certainly not been well kept. Things have used it as lairs and shelter over the years, including just families. If you missed a couple of streams back, we actually found where a girl and her father had been staying, and both had died here. And
Kevin's cutting out. Now I have to single-handedly entertain the crowd. Let me check the YouTube connection.
This stream.
Kevin, you cut out for about 5 seconds.
Dear Lord. Yeah, we're having connection issues, and I don't know what it is. We've tried everything we can try. So if it gets too bad, we may just have to cut this one off early. We'll just do what we can, get as far as we can, and we'll do better in the next time.
Well, it's all right. Luckily, whenever you cut out, I can see in the YouTube video I can still talk, so I can just hijack whatever happens. Then when you come back, it's just like, wait, the dragon died? Like, yeah, of course.
Well, it's like we were talking about with my headaches, right? You're like, yeah, that was 3,000 gold I found, Kevin. You weren't here. So Um, wait, now I'm seeing that Quinn is saying that this is episode 36, the one where Brise doesn't die because CP has no stones. Wow. Now Quinn is saying that maybe our connection problems, our problems connecting, is because I'm an unfeeling monster. I assume he's talking about me and not Max. Max is very warm, as you can tell by holding his hand.
I feel a lot of things.
Oh, he does, especially when I'm around.
I'm a feeling monster. That sounds somehow worse.
It really does. And on that note, I want you to go to Saturday Night Live and you go on YouTube and find the Saturday Night Live skit with The Rock at the evil. The Rock is our guest, and the evil scientist convention. And just watch that one, and you'll see why a feeling monster is in fact worse than an unfeeling monster.
Please watch that instead of our stream. It'll be much
In
more
fact, really, they probably have no connection issues. The quality there has to be light years beyond what we've got. Well, all right, man, let's get to it.
Yeah.
And let me apologize to the chat. I'm going to be on the maps a lot, and so I don't have a multi-screen setup yet. And until I do, I sort of have to just choose what I'm looking at, which I really despise. But I've got to figure out that out. That's so annoying. I have to turn that off somehow. Right. You are on the second floor. It's sort of mid morning, late morning.
Mm-hmm.
On the April 29th, we just use a typical calendar here as opposed to making up our own months. I should roll for that. So you've encountered the Dark Lash, this sort of black-skinned creature that had tentacles at the end of its hands, sort of athletically built, but you were basically able to use a spell, intimidate it with the sense of power that you were radiating.
Right.
I'm going to need an adult here. So now hopefully you're left alone on this floor, although that remains to be seen.
Right.
Right. So you're sort of at a sort of conjunction of ways here.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and pass through an entrance, and that will be the oh, hey, look, it's Bunny Bakery. Hi, Bunny Bakery. Can I call you BB? I'm just going to call you BB. BB, welcome to the stream. Glad you could join us. So there's a number of ways you can go here, Max. You can go, of course, across the balcony, and into the to get a higher view of the ballroom.
Yeah.
There is you can go forward from where you are now, and that will lead to rooms and so on. There also seems just a little if you go forward into the long hall, that will run the length of the courtyard, right? The interior courtyard. There's also seems to be a hall going to your right, very few feet ahead.
Sorry, say that again. I was picturing in my head and it didn't make.
So to the left will be the entrance to the balcony of the ballroom.
Right.
Ahead is the hallway.
Right.
That runs the length of the building and the courtyard.
Right.
But off of that hallway to the right, but somewhat up ahead, not immediately to the right.
Okay.
There is either an alcove or another hallway.
Something like that, yeah. Now that I'm on the second floor, I'm thinking I do want to check out the upper floor of the ballroom. I'll check out that balcony, so I might stick up here and explore up here for a while. So Yeah, let's take the left door, go into the ballroom, and
Okay.
kind of walk along the balcony, and just take it in.
You go through. It's very the balcony is very generous in size. I mean, it's a good 10 feet wide. Much as the hallways have been very broad, very spacious to allow for large groups and a sense of prestige. Um, there's a rail along the top of the half wall that separate, that forms the balcony.
Right.
And clearly, the head was formerly capped in something periodically, and that has clearly been pried or chiseled loose. So no doubt, maybe silver, maybe gold, and thieves over the years encountering it have just hauled away everything they could
Indeed.
while they could.
Those darn thieves. I'll catch them one day.
That's right.
An end to all thieves.
The balcony circles the room. And at the end, at the corner of the balcony, the far corner, there is clearly something that was a nest. And there is there are windows at this level on the outer walls.
Yeah.
To let in light. And one of those have been propped open somewhat. But it's a large nest. I mean, it fills that corner. So that corner would be probably, it's what, a hypotenuse, right? So the square root of 20. So, so it's, it's the length of the ballroom away, which is, I mean, it's a large room, of course. Where's my map? Yeah, so it's 60 or 70 feet away. What would you like to do?
I'll have my spear and shield in hand and walk on down towards that.
Pretty quickly, it becomes clear that it is abandoned. But there, wow, there are eggshells here. There are feathers of some nature here. The feathers are they're almost scaly in texture. They have a very, each of the little micro hairs that come off a feather. And I'd be curious to know what that word is for the little hairs that form a feather. And that would be 100 Karandrin points. Huh? Someone finds me that term.
Please look it up. Tell us.
So, as you pick one up and you sort of run your hand, it's a very coarse feeling. Oh my Lord. Really?
Just spicy food right before this, man.
That's right. But do you have to use that pair of panties? Anyway, but as you hold it, it gets warm in your hand.
Oh.
The feather itself is almost a metallic green. The eggs are a cream color on the interior. Their exterior is purple with red nodules. The eggs are the size of basically two fists.
Okay. Do they continue to heat up, the feathers?
They come to a nice, warm, like, oh, my palms are going to sweat kind of temperature.
Wow. Very curious. Have I heard of anything like this, or just kind of
Roll for me.
85.
Not the phenomenon, yes, not the creature.
Okay.
There was stories that you had heard in their religious stories from the Penn Nation of individuals in the mountain range well beyond the desert that people seeking pilgrims, basically, sort of mystics seeking enlightenment from the one God that the Penns worship. Barbules, thank you, BB.
All right.
Barbules.
100 Karandrin points.
100 Karandrin points.
Spend those at any redeemable location. The nearest one is in Anchorage, Alaska.
That's right. The nearest one is with Max. So
is at
BB,
my house. So
that's right. So just BB, should you ever, I know the odds are ridiculous, but should you ever meet Max, you feel free to redeem your 100 points from him.
Yeah.
And if he won't give you satisfaction, there's a whole bunch of jokes there. So the that these mystics seeking connection to their God, I just struck my mic. They lined their coats with these metallic green feathers they had found, and those feathers warmed them.
Right.
Obi-Wan, you were assigned to keep track of points for
those who ask must do.
So that's sort of as much of a connection as you have with these, is that they were definitively metallic green feathers, and they lined their coats with them, and that kept them warm in the mountains as they sought revelation and so on from.
Or cloaks of feathers which warmed them. Very nice. Okay, well, let me. If it doesn't seem too warm, I'll just pocket the feather, put it in one of my bags here.
Sure.
Oh, Obi-Wan, because she's keeping track of them now. She has declared that she has 10,000 points. So that's what happens when we need someone now to keep track of the person who keeps track of them.
Well, we can't trust Quinn. He just awarded himself 24,000.
We need an accreditation agency.
That's right. So I'm getting definitely the sense that there's a great deal of corruption in the Karandrin point system.
Yeah.
I hereby revoke all of them except for BB's 100 of them that can be redeemed at any max base location or orifice.
What?
Oh, zucchini's not provided. So I'm
all distracted now, Kevin. What do I? Oh, I'm pocketing this feather. That's what I'm doing.
That's right. Oh no, Obi-Wan is now rebelling against us, saying, "What you going to do about it?" I have nullified all the Karandrin points. That's right. Any max base location, Bunny.
This has cryptocurrency vibes to it, and I don't like it.
Well, because it's fantasy role playing, it's actually crypt currency.
Crypt currency. I like that.
So that's what we've really got going on there. So, oh my goodness.
So I'll how delicate are the eggshells? Could I take some of that? Or are they pretty brittle?
Um, yeah, they're given their thickness, they're surprisingly crumbly. So
Oh, okay.
Max is my NFT. That's fantastic. What does the F stand for? Anyway.
Oh. I see. So feather.
This is turning into a rowdy episode here. I don't know if I should nip this in the bud or if it's good for the stream. Have you guys seen that new Karandrin stuff? It's so porny. It's really good.
They don't do any role playing at all, but they crack.
Well, not in the traditional sense.
Okay, so if that's all about the nest, so it seems like it's been long abandoned then.
Yeah. Yeah. There's many. Everything is covered in dust. I mean, it's. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll move away from that and explore. Does the balcony go all the way around, or is it just this corner?
All the way around?
Okay. Can do a full circuit then.
Yeah, just making your way around, looking. You should make it to to some of the other outer windows. You think it's a nice vantage. I should look out and make sure you're alone for one. The ones nearest the nest, they would face out over where you fought the hammerworm.
Okay.
And then beyond that, of course, would be the ravine would begin to start to fall away. And then you would find the statues. And from here, clearly by design, you can see the tops of the statues from here. Clearly, in a more kempt world, you'd probably be able to see the whole things.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting I got a wire tangling in my dice. It's hilarious. Tuck that away. So then making it around to the other windows, this will be at the front of the manor, and then would look out over the larger valley. And then to your left, you could see the three other manors, the smaller manors.
Yeah.
And there, beyond those manors, roll.
9.
Fantastic. You see what was clearly 3 of the mechanical female warriors.
Ooh.
They are marching. You just caught a glimpse of them as they disappeared behind the nearest of the manors.
Okay. Wow. Let's wait around here for a few minutes. See if I could spot them again and what route they're taking.
Okay. You wait a long while. Roll to stay in position because you are not patient.
Great. Okay. We're moving on.
You're like, okay, if I'm going to see him again, I'll
see him.
I'll see him.
For anyone that doesn't remember, there's a few episodes ago. Had an encounter with one of these constructs, or it seemed to be like patrols or guards of this manor. And man, they pack a punch. I didn't even finish off the one. I ran away. It beat me up bad. So
yeah, they hit hard and they can take quite a hit.
Yeah, so definitely want to be on high alert since I've seen them now. Although I wonder if they're only made to patrol the grounds because, just because I've found them outside doesn't mean they can't be inside, I guess. But do you think I would have heard them?
Yeah, you couldn't imagine them being quiet. Even, it's not beyond their own possibility that you could put matting, or if you will, batting on their feet, right?
Yeah.
So that that's not loud on the tile or wood. Um, but the but uh, but the actual movement of them, particularly given that they may have some mechanical problems after however many years,
Yeah.
um, um, then yeah, it's hard to believe that there are any moving around in here.
Right. Also, I guess from my knowledge of magical protections of houses, like in constructs, does it seem like they shouldn't be inside? Like is it not? Well, I guess they're from thousands of years ago, so I can't really say that for sure.
Well, I mean,
Just like kind of
it's
you had to make like a decision. Like the masters wouldn't want them in the house, right? That seems like not a
we know that there was one encountered right at the one of the back entrances
true.
that
Yeah.
was attacked.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, how carefully can the enchantment be made that powers them, that makes them selective about targets?
Yeah.
For
Interesting.
instance, I mean, it's a baffling question and a very technical question, obviously beyond your expertise, but still worth wondering about.
Yeah.
They hire a new servant,
Yeah.
right? How do you, well, that's now a stranger, right? Don't
Yeah.
um, and so,
That's not a great first day at work.
no, but interestingly, it's also your last day at work. Um, so I mean, there's several questions about how any of that would work.
Yeah.
Roll for me.
54.
So it does occur to you that that some form of disruption of magic itself might be very effective,
Oh.
sort of going against them, because you're going after the instructions or the power source,
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to beat your way through a metal body.
Right. Interesting. Do I have anything like that in my spells, like a dispel or like absorb magic? I don't think so. Definitely something to try.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So since they're not reappearing and I'm tired of waiting, we'll keep exploring the second floor. And I guess whenever I come across windows, make a point to scan the ground.
Just check. Yeah, every check as you go across, there's no sign of them. Although, as at the last window, just looking, you can see that there is a nest of something, a large nest, peeking beyond the highest point of the roof of the second closest manor.
Spotted.
So the middle manor, if you will.
Yeah. You mean the guest houses, right? The middle.
Yes.
Man, okay.
The guest manors.
Yeah. Large nest spotted on the roof of the middle guest house. Okay. Interesting.
Quinn doing an Archer reference there. Do you want to be slaughtered by magical constructs, Lana? Because that's how you get slaughtered, by magical constructs.
All right, we'll keep.
Sorry, BB is clearly an Archer fan. That's fantastic.
Better than ants. Anything is better than that. All right. ask my dad to join this stream, and then it'll be complete. There's nothing but nonstop Archer references.
Your dad's an Archer fan, huh?
Yeah.
And I adore Archer. I can watch that any time of day. I think it's just those first, I don't know, 5 or 6 seasons are just impeccably done.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep circling around the ballroom and then go out. Is there a door to the south then into more of the second floor rooms, or is it back into the foyer?
Say that. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Is there a door into the? Is there another door besides the one I came in through?
No. The whole purpose of that one door was to provide access to the loop,
Right.
balcony.
Okay.
You come out onto sort of a landing that then that shares the landing with the foyer stairs.
Right.
So you sort of find yourself back at the door.
Right.
And you pass through that, and then you're on the second level landing, and you can proceed up.
Okay, let's start going
straight through. I mean,
start going down the hallway.
Okay.
Main hall.
So you stop at the alcove at the right. Don't pass it. Kind of wait, give it a listen. Don't really hear anything. There's so you kind of peer around. It is you're probably getting to the point where you're going to need your lantern again.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Just because there's intermittent darkness.
Right.
The one to the right is a alcove, a heavy door that is closed and in very good shape. What would you like to do?
Yeah, let me try take a listen to the door and try to open that up.
Roll for me.
41.
No sounds. Roll for me again.
58.
Someone has been at the edge of the door trying to work at it, probably with a dagger or chisel, trying to get it open. It is locked.
Okay.
Despite the damage, I mean, there's no sense of movement. I mean, it's a very well-made door and lock.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have your magical spell, do you not?
I do, and I need to remember I unlocked a door earlier. Wait, hold on. I thought I cast an unlock and it didn't work, and then I cast a higher level, so I was going to see maybe what should I cast this one.
I mean, one way to think about it is, would they hire someone of your expertise to lock the door, or would they hire someone with greater expertise?
Right, but that's what I mean. I already opened a door earlier, and
yes.
In my notes, I don't remember that. It says here I cast it at a higher level, so I'm going to assume that.
Well, roll for me.
Okay. 31.
Yeah, I think you did. You lose? Was it 12 power points you put into that thing?
I cast it level 10, and it's a level 4 spell, so I put in 6 extra points.
Oh wait, or this is not a tome, right? This is you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. It's a first level spell, so I put in 9 levels into it.
That's right. You upped its power by 9 levels. You made it right. So yeah.
So I'm gonna automatically put some points into this, knowing that.
You know what? You should roll for me.
Sure.
It should occur.
54.
So your sense of it, like taking a moment to think, okay, what could be behind the door,
True.
right?
Yeah.
You're like, really nice door, one of the nicer doors I've come across. I bet these are the family's quarters.
Oh. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I unlocked that other one because those were guest quarters.
Right.
Going to be a nice lock, right? Because you can't have
Right.
them get robbed either. But of course, that's why
Right.
you have guards and so on. But that failing, you put good locks everywhere.
Right.
But this is going to be the family's quarters, unless, I mean, you'd have to be crazy for it not to be the family quarters.
Yeah.
You know, you knew that there was some. You got the sense that the kitchens were at the very back of the house,
Right.
so it's unlikely to be above those. They would be continually bothered by food smells. That's one of the reasons that they don't do that.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know, I really enjoy. It's one of the things I really enjoy about Karandrin is like we make everything kind of matter. You know, the fact that
Yeah.
you grew up wealthy is giving you knowledge that most other characters wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. Where things are in the house and all that. That's pretty cool. I do appreciate that.
And that's 10,000 Karandrin points to max.
To distribute
Redeemable.
as I see fit.
That's right. Right. I wouldn't give them to those dirty cheaters though, Quinn and Obi-Wan. They are.
I think I'll probably just give them all to Bunny Bakery. They seem to be a good spender.
That's right. You are going to regret that. I sense that individual is probably. I mean, BB is going to track you down.
Yeah, I have
you're
a
going to have a
feeling.
cyber ninja, right? And fan of the stream.
I have a feeling I'm going to be seeing them soon.
Oh, just the idea of it sends a chill down my spine.
I'm looking through my spells right now.
Too many Karandrin points, though. That, BB, that's how you get ants. So.
All right, so I think I'm going to try and unlock on this door. I'm just checking if I need.
Well, keep in mind how much. What would you do to protect your family?
A lot, yeah. So
okay.
I'm thinking that there might be something else I can prepare because I have a history of trying to unlock things and being like knocked out. So I'm wondering if I can protect myself somehow. Holy armor reduces crit severity. No. Open shield of faith.
I like the word severity. I don't know why. I've always liked it. Not as much as I like the word journey, but severity is nice.
A severe journey. All right, I think we're just going to try to unlock it. I'm going to pour in. Let's try to do it at level 20.
Wow.
19 extra points.
That is.
It's open. All right, here we go. Cast in the open spell. Level 20. That's an 86.
Nice. All right. I have to roll the lock's attempt to resist. You are outside.
What? Damn it. Can I spend Karandrin points?
This is a really rugged area. There are sheer green walls of the natural rock face that go up. It's far steeper than a ravine. The mountains tower above you. Roll for me. Let's see where you think you are.
44.
The smell of the air is similar to the region you were in. The vegetation seems similar. But yeah, you're in a it's really the hollow of a a holler, if you will. I don't know if you know that term, but
No.
it's a holler is a steep drop off off a mountain.
Okay.
It's an Appalachian term largely. I
Oh,
didn't know if it was more widespread. I'm assuming it's only Appalachian, but that's where you hear about hollers, which really is a derived from the word hollow.
yeah.
And so I'm gonna have to use Karandrin points to replace my webcam. So the it does feel like you're still in the region.
Yeah.
But this is really rugged area.
So it, I guess, putting my brain power together, does it seem like it reacted to me casting the spell by teleporting me somewhere else?
It seems like this is an anti-theft system meant to strand thieves.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, let me take a look around, see if I can
You know
spot
what?
anything.
I have
Yeah.
skipped a mechanic
Oh,
because you have a chance to resist the teleport.
okay.
So
Oh,
you
right. Teleport has to be like someone who wants.
has to be willing.
Okay.
And so you have a chance of avoiding this fate. Quinn is suggesting that the lock may have wanted to be unlocked, just waiting for the right person to jiggle its tumblers, mind you. Quinn, should we ever meet,
To tumble its jigglers.
I promise to tumble your jumblers. What? And all right, so give me a roll. You actually
All right,
have an
everybody.
enormous bonus. Roll.
It's a 2. Okay, I'm teleported.
You were teleported. Wow, a 2. Well, I apologize for the game master mix-up, but I really hate doing that, especially when it reveals something that you couldn't. I hate doing all that. But there you go. It is a much more physically violent process than all your other teleports. Those are mentally confusing. This is mentally confusing, and you can feel your body rebelling against being moved. And
half my body's still at the manor, and the other half.
That's right. Hey, you made the roll halfway, so let's just say every other cell stayed put.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's explore just a bit. I mean, I could just teleport back near the manor. I don't want to teleport inside. It has those magic protections. But let's just see if I can find out where I am. Maybe get a look at where the manor is. I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty far away.
So yeah, just scanning like the sky. Your first thought is, well, let's look for smoke, right?
Yeah.
No smoke on the horizon anywhere. So you're not near a town. Whoops! Almost threw my dice across the room. There is some evidence that you are standing on a road, but it's long overgrown. But there's evidence of paving stones.
Yeah.
I mean, the clever thing would be to put it outside of a guardhouse they own, and then and you're just arrested and never seen from me. No trial, no nothing.
Yeah.
They just keep say four guys.
They know what happened. Like you tried to unlock it.
Right.
Tried to break in. Yeah, well, let's see if I can follow the paving stones a bit, maybe. Just because that's the thing I want to kind of know where I am.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't want to just teleport back immediately.
So roll for me.
62.
And roll for me again.
17.
You quickly lose the paving stones. They're just lost in detritus and and other stuff and leaves and I mean it's just it's probably underneath the soil at this point.
Yeah.
And a few got pushed up by roots and what have you, or by circumstance. And you keep walking, and through the woods. At one point, you've only walked maybe 30 feet before you lose your sense of what's going on.
Yeah.
But you come across through the trees, and then you realize sort of at your feet that there is like a portcullis, a network of steel bars.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you see through the trees, there's some more there, and they arc. And then you recognize there's some laying on the top of a tree that are also curved, and you're getting the impression that you would have been inside of a large metal jungle gym, right? A large metal dome of interlocking metal bars.
Oh, are they like? So you see a portcullis, like some of them are like broken, or
And it seems like over the years they have, the whole structure has just, enough of it has corroded such that it collapsed.
got it.
And so now
So
those
the whole
parts,
area would have been contained. Interesting.
right. So maybe they just kept an animal in here, right? And you could just be et. But why? Roll for me.
30.
I think the conclusion's too obvious for you to miss, so I'll give it to you. And you're not dumb. You only missed it really by 10. Domed? That means a flying animal.
Oh.
Or a climbing. I guess a climbing animal would be possible.
Well, I was even going to say it's like obviously someone who can cast magic, is a little more of a threat. So it's probably a very powerful animal, not something that can be easily subdued.
Yeah, certainly it's meant to overpower a human.
Right.
Or any of the civilized races, right?
Right.
Trolls aren't going to be trying to cast magic on something, but still, its cage is long broken, and it would be long dead. Hopefully, I mean that would be wild if it wasn't. So they really took sort of sick lengths to punish would-be thieves.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm kind of curious. I want to explore more of the area. Any remains or any kind of signs of struggle or what may have been here.
Right. Well, what do you think? Shall we take a break and then come back to your exploration? I know it's a little early, but is that all right?
Yeah, well, guys, that could work.
So yeah, we'll be right back, gang. We're just we're gonna hop away for a minute and we'll get something to drink and so on. Hope you guys do the same and just stick with us through the break, and we'll be right back. We're back. Now we're back.
Now we are back.
Thanks for hanging out with us through the break. We, of course, ended with Brise being moved. And so she is in a different area entirely, and having been involuntarily teleported. So you've realized you're in some sort of domed cage that is now long collapsed.
Yeah.
We should probably talk about state of readiness, probably spear and shield in hand.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No real sound of movement in the brush or anything. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna walk around. So I mean, this area has to be enclosed, right? So I'll just try to kind of walk around the perimeter, see what I
So
can
sort of
find.
follow a line of wreckage, so to speak. Yeah.
Exactly. Come across anything?
Being just working your way around. Quinn suggests teleporting. Why would it teleport him? Because the life force's natural resistance. That's why.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the spell also says like it's supposed to be in a safe location. So like to teleport them.
Magic. Yeah, magic does not. Magic movement spells. There is some natural law that prevents the very idea you're talking about. Like essentially, because I've thought about that for years. And so you have to have, obviously the mechanical explanation is, the game design explanation is, then the game is over, basically. Everyone gets teleported into walls and they die. So you have to get rid of that. The easiest way of doing that is saying that natural magical laws prohibit it. And the easiest way, given the context of Rollmaster, is to say, because they already have an inherent thing where we all possess a natural resistance to magic. And so the natural thing then is that, extending from that, is that as people wrote spells, they found that you could only teleport the willing unless you really vastly increased the power of the spell.
Right.
And that maybe and that also, my addition to that is that the spells are linked to basically ground somehow. And so that whatever, because that's the most common, well, no, really, it would just be the essence of the magic itself, that the further away it goes from ground, it requires more and more power, perhaps exponentially so. So you're moving through. How quiet are you going to be?
We'll be fairly quiet.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Fairly early in your exploration, you come across an area where clearly something broke through the cage, broke into the cage.
Yeah.
It was large. It seemed it did it. There's a sense, because of the it really is wrecked here, that something large just ran straight through. and you notice that there are trees laying in the same direction that were simply snapped. Now they're long moss covered. This happened some years ago. And can we just revisit the fact that redwoods plant themselves somehow after they fall? Like along the length of their trunk, after they fall, they somehow have the ability to plant new ones of themselves. That's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. Nothing has planted itself here in that fashion.
All right. You're not in the California redwood forests.
So, as you look, the path of sort of where there's no trees that you have to assume this thing took.
Yeah.
It ends about oh wow, there's clear evidence of it from this probably. So it apparently went through one side and out the other. You can see now about 150 feet away. It has just made a path so you can see. There is some head high vegetation, bushes and so on growing, but you can see the other side where it went through.
Yeah.
And they clearly built this on a relatively stable, relatively even area. They still had to get carts and men up here to do the work.
Yeah.
Even though whatever flying creature they trapped here didn't need it. It didn't matter. They needed it to build the cage. That's me actually going through reasoning, because I was like, why would they do that? Oh, because they still have to build the thing. Do you want to cut across, or do you want to keep going around?
Let's cut across and actually follow this trail of destruction. Quinn points out a good thing is that the teleport needs to be voluntary, but this was like an involuntary teleport, so why not break the rules of the I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. I can never tell with Quinn. He's like,
Sure,
okay, that makes sense.
Well, if for each reason, right? Let's say you had involuntary teleport takes exponential power.
Yeah.
And teleporting straight up takes exponential power.
Right.
Well, there you go.
You got to choose one or the other, and both will be exponential power.
Right.
Makes sense.
Although it is bad, so it even means that you couldn't even teleport yourself up to just a place in the sky. You couldn't do it, even though you're willing. The power would be enormous.
Right.
That's interesting. Now it's a 10th level spell. For most in most areas of this game, it's a 10th level spell. So if we did actually make it exponential, it could be done, but you would be almost unconscious with exhaustion.
Yeah. It requires so much exhaustion that it would just not be worth it.
It could be done. It could be done. And I assume, given the inquisitive nature of spell users, especially, it probably has been done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except that you can only teleport to a place you can see or you've been to, that you've memorized. There's no way to choose a location in the air unless maybe a cloud. So you really couldn't go higher than clouds, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyway, I love that kind of stuff, though. I don't want to take up the whole stream doing it, but so we should do a Ghostbusters stream and call it "Don't Cross the Streams" stream. I think that would be hilarious. Quinn, work on that. I have a budget of 10,000 Karandrin points for you to spend on that project. Yeah, you cut across. Whoa, some interesting stuff in here. I'm rolling really high. That is clearly what is now a heavily overgrown lean-to that someone has built.
What is going on here?
So that either happened afterwards, or someone got really clever and basically hid from the creature and tried to live here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's off this path about 50 feet. It would actually cut back toward where you were. So it was probably very close to where you were.
Yeah.
But it was just from that angle, it was impossible to see.
Yeah.
Do you wanna
Let's
investigate?
just go back and investigate that real quick before I leave.
Go through. There is hanging in there with spider webs and other stuff. There is a pendant of Astalon, which is the queen god of the pantheon that you worship. It's low end, some sort of base material, probably bronze with a pewter face.
Is there any do I know of any like semblance of hanging something like that here?
I'm sorry, semblance of what?
Semblance of like the pendant being here. Like was it like just hanging there as in like, oh, is there possession, or did they maybe leave it there to mean something? Some significance.
Your feeling, given the faith tradition, is that it was there to make him like that little necklace is his private altar of, hey, get me out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that he would pray to, and clearly, I mean, in all likelihood, the individual didn't make it. And we say he, but I remind people that the number one defining characteristic of a criminal is male. Like it really is ridiculous. Like it's young and male, and those are the two defining characteristics of a criminal. It's really ridiculous. There's some really fascinating studies on that. Like even like terrorists who were like arrested at 18.
Yeah.
And now they're in prison and they're like in their 50s. And like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Stupid of me.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So, oh, look at that.
Our pen says hydrate.
Our pen. I always think, because, it comes across as colon, hydrate, colon here,
Right.
at least for me. Right. And so I always think, is that a play on high?
Hi.
It's got high in there. It's a great thing. All right, I'll drink. Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to him drinking.
Drink to Astalon.
That's right. So this lean-to is largely held now together by the litter and vines that cover it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing but cobwebbing, and there's vines, even little tendrils and feelers coiled around the pendant itself.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think we'll leave this place as it is. Might as well take off. I'm not super religious, but take off some of the vines like around the pendant and
Sure.
And be on our way.
I mean, you could take the pendant, return it to any of the.
Oh,
you could pass it to a cleric outside of a temple.
Rue. That would be a good thing for me to do. That would be in character, yeah.
But likewise, your idea made sense too, kind of as a nod to the person who was here.
Yeah.
So either way you want.
They also were probably I was gonna say they're a criminal. Then like, I'm doing the same thing. It could have been. Who knows if they this person, like the manor might have been abandoned already, like when they got caught here as well.
Well, just like in our world, right? The gods love everybody. I mean, not enough to do anything about it, but they love everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
As a friend recently said, God does answer prayers. Unfortunately, he answers them with cancer. You can guess who said that.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
And it could be
Joshua Waters.
who also, I don't know if you know this, big fan of scat.
Boo-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, then why isn't he watching our streams? Because there's a lot of scat in these streams.
It is.
Tell him to get on that.
There is an embarrassing and disloyal reason that he doesn't watch our streams live, and I won't go into it.
Why don't you tell us live?
Well, when he had his hemorrhoid surgery, no, I'm kidding. No, it's fine. He tries to watch it after the fact. So
yeah.
So
we love you, Josh, if you're watching.
That's right.
At least I do. I don't know about Kevin.
That's right. All the people who really love you is Bunny Bakery Art and Max. Those two people. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we'll leave the pendant here. We'll just kind of clear off some of the vines and
say a little
preserve
prayer.
The original intent. Yeah. And then we'll kind of head back to the path and keep
going. Yeah. Cut through, make it to the other side, no problem. What footprints this thing left, of course, are long covered in litter and erased by erosion, surely.
Right.
The other side, you can see, are bent out. This part of the cage has fallen forward, actually, you stand on what would have been the hole. You can every now and then on the path, you'll find a spar of the iron, lying on the ground from probably where it fell from above.
Yeah.
Especially toward the center. There you go. What would you like to do?
So I might follow the trail a little ways into the wilderness, see if I can find where it stops. Why don't I say follow it for like
fairly soon?
Okay.
And the ground begins to get fairly rugged. You don't know how anyone would charge across this. I mean, not without, the height of a giant or something. Clearly, this thing wasn't. It was lower. What would you like to do?
So there's no markings of like where it stopped. It just kind of ends.
Yep.
Weird. Okay. Let's go back into the cage then, and just kind of keep searching around for anything else.
So coming back, you could cut to your left, and that would meet with the other hole. Of course, the other direction you go would meet with the other hole, but you could cut that way and go across and meet the other hole on that side.
Let's do that.
Yeah, not much else to report. You make it to the other hole, past the pole. Do you want to then finish the ring?
Yeah, just keep walking around.
Yeah, you lose it every now and then. Here, it's harder to follow on this side. The corrosion and damage is worse, or the vegetation is thicker.
Yeah.
You do find a place where trees' growth has actually lifted some parts of the cage up, and now it dangles, about the size of a door. So, what would you like to do?
Okay, so sounds like this has just been so long abandoned. There's nothing really left here.
Right.
I think I'm going to try to find the manor again. I kind of want to try a detect shelter spell. see if that might turn up anything.
Okay. What's the range on that bad boy?
So that's 500 feet plus 500 feet of level. So I'm level 8, so that would be 4,500 feet
Right.
radius here. So yeah, 4,500 feet in every direction. So I might just give that a whirl. I'm going to use my channeling helm and see what I can find. If not the manor, maybe something else nearby.
Now, if you cast it yourself and pump power into it, it would be an extended range
Okay.
because it's being cast at that higher level.
Sure. Then we'll do that. If I pour in 10, like 3 more levels into it, that'll extend by another 1,500 feet.
Right.
Make it a 10th level. So yeah, okay, we'll cast Tech Shelter at 10th level. Using my own
10th
power.
level will put you at. So what's the
That'll put it
radius?
at 150 extra. So that'll put it at 600 foot radius.
What?
Yeah.
It's 500 foot per
Sorry,
level.
6,000 foot radius.
6,000 foot radius. So wow,
Oh.
it's going to be a mile on either side.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to find something.
Exactly.
All right, roll to cast.
Bada bing, bada boom. 22.
That's 15 exhaustion. Little,
Okay.
not your most elegant cast. It finds the lean-to clearly. Is what it's indicating, but
Yeah.
nothing else.
Holy moly, really? I'm going to write down that 10th level is about a mile.
Yeah. On a 1 mile radius, 6,000 foot radius.
Yeah.
The lean-to is your new home.
Yep. Because you got nothing else. Okay. Well, now I think it's just we'll just try to teleport back to. I'm going to say the. Well,
Camp?
I could go back to the campsite, or maybe I could go to the front door of the mansion, but that might be too close.
I would, yeah, and given how nice those doors are,
Yeah, they might have a
and yeah,
very strong reaction to that.
yeah, I mean, nice doors means someone has something nice inside, and that's always trouble.
Yeah. So okay, so we'll just try to teleport back to the campsite to the south of the mansion. And I'll use my channeling helm. We'll try that.
All right.
All right, been pretty good with spells so far. No fumbles. We'll
Yeah,
see.
you've done really good, even with very powerful spells. How's your exhaustion?
I'm at 65, so we're getting there.
Yeah, you're you're feeling it, but you're still fine.
Okay, teleport. Here we go. 66. All right.
Okay, no problem. Roll to aim.
Aim is a 64.
You lose the power points, you lose the exhaustion, but you stay put.
No, there's a. Oh no, there's a. Probably so I can put some protection here to prevent from people from teleporting out.
Roll.
62.
Or you're out of range.
Oh my gosh. Wait a moment. Okay, hold on.
I mean, either are possible.
Yeah. What's okay, but if I am out of range, what is the range again? Teleport. 50 miles plus 10 miles. It can't be 800. Oh my gosh. So okay, that would be level. That's 130. Yeah, 30 miles. But that door was really high level too, so Jesus.
Sweet Astalon.
Yeah, really. I might be in like big trouble. Well, okay, well, let's try to prove my first theory, I guess. Why don't we walk about like 10 minutes away from the from this thing and try to teleport again. Make sure we're far enough away from it that it's not interfering.
Okay. So you walk outside of the beyond the
Yeah,
cage. How
yeah.
far?
We'll walk 5 minutes. Just
Okay.
make sure it's like not even like in sight, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Like an easy looking kind of if there's any path or anything I can go down or just walk into the
the
tree.
going is rugged and not therefore straight, but you do find an easy way to walk, even if it's
Yeah.
not making as much distance as you want. So you actually decide to sort of count off a little bit more distance since you know
Okay.
you're zigzagging. You're headed down further into this really steep hole.
Yeah.
um, and yeah, you feel comfortable that you've gone a good bit of distance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine now that there really is I mean, you've got to be probably a quarter mile away from the place.
Yeah.
So that's, 1,200, 1,300 feet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
1320. And so, yeah, so give it another go.
Okay. Another try. Teleport back to camp. Here we go. Channeling Helm. So 42,
All right, roll to aim.
84.
Yeah, that was a solid cast. Lose 10 exhaustion, lose 10 EP. And you've lost your way because you do not move.
Oh my God. So I'm more than 130 miles.
As
Is there
the
any
crow,
is there any other explanation for it I could think of, or is that kind of the thing that kind of rings in my head?
let me think if there are any possibilities, and then I'll have you roll.
Yeah. Have I been cursed? You know, like it's just like it's befuddling to think I'm that far away.
You know what? Roll.
74.
Your overwhelming conclusion is, of course, if that spell can force me to accept a teleport,
Mm-hmm.
what level must it be?
Right. Very, very high.
I mean, 20th? I mean, not if you're thinking in 20th, but easily twice my power. Oh, come
Right.
on. 3 times my power?
Right.
5 times my power?
Many, many, many days of travel away. Huh. Well, better get comfy. I walk back to the lean-to. Wow.
This just breaks Brise. Verilag be damned. You are just staying here now.
I'm just
You just
lost.
live. You're just like, now you're a monk. I guess a nun, but this is this is your new life.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
see, and
accepted
this
it.
is why you should have hydrated before casting the spell. It might have worked if you followed our pen's advice, but you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember what I rolled for the spell, but I rolled a little higher.
Quinn wants to do a miracle roll. Honestly, Quinn, since you and I have been friends so long, if I knew if you have actual dice on you, I would allow it. If you've got actual dice, then I would allow it. What about you, Max? Is there a miracle roll you want to be considering here? I know you don't like to use them to solve a problem, but maybe it
Yeah.
leads you to a solution,
Yeah.
increases your likelihood of a solution.
Well, it'd be cool if maybe I walk a little bit further and I come across some powerful, helpful wizard who knows the area and is willing to help me.
Okay. You're sure. Cool. Go ahead and make your roll, unless you want to wait on Quinn for God's sake. But I don't know.
I'm not going to wait on. Give me 30 seconds. No. Okay. So rolling that, there is, and come across a powerful magic user who is, what's the word there? Want to help me? Forgetting the word right now. Yeah, exactly. So rolling that right now. That's 34. Okay, that doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen, but it wasn't an opportunity you didn't take, and that's very important.
Yeah. So, okay. So the detect shelter didn't find anything either, and that was like a mile radius. So definitely want to find out where I am. Any kind of town name or any kind of road, get directions anywhere else. So we'll
well, remember, you can teleport within sight. There are mountainous slopes and things like that. I mean, it's a way of getting out of the valley.
True, get out of the valley, see further, and maybe cast another detect shelter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see further and maybe see smoke and know what's going on. Maybe see something you do recognize. Oh, that 130 miles. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
You've not been in the mountains that far north.
No,
I mean, you technically have. You've passed through them as a child to go to Gorb and maybe to go to Handrock.
Yeah.
Which are for our viewers, that those are the two major goblin cities here in Nargos.
Kevin, I'd just like to say that every time I've tried to open something, I usually get screwed real hard.
That is the job of oh, that's fantastic. Quinn said he's got 2 D10s, a blue and a green, and that's significant because these are my dice that I've used for literally, good God, 30-something years. And I've never used anything but these dice for my role-playing. And that's fantastic, Quinn. Oh, man.
You rolled a 10 with them, though. They did not.
Well, Quinn, you have to get the question approved before you roll. So I will give you another shot. That was not an actual miracle roll.
Let's type it out. I will say, Quinn, this might be the episode that you wanted for so long. Waited for Brise's to be stranded and dead.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, right? Because I assume that if your character died, I hope you would immediately want another character and we'd start another stream.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I never really asked the question. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't need some time to grieve, because it's unfortunate I'm going to miss this whole thing.
As you know, I'm very comfortable with the concept that people need time to grieve in role playing. Unfortunately, for me and my loved ones, we know that. So, okay. All right. So,
everyone's pitching in to do a miracle roll. So yeah, you guys type what you want and
get it approved.
You can approve it, and then you can roll. So. And
then this is gonna, my God, this is how we're gonna get, this is how our viewership is gonna spike, right?
Yeah.
Is like what we get to do the miracle rolls.
Well, we have 100 viewers, and at least one of them is gonna get it right.
It'll also encourage live viewing. I'm not sure that matters in our YouTube stats, but yeah, that would be fantastic, right?
Okay, well, while you guys are figuring that out, I'm going to try to pick out a mountain I can teleport to that'll give me a good vantage point. So yeah, walk until I'm kind of, come up to a point I can see other mountain tops.
So I'm going to start with the fact. No, I'm not. I'm going to have you roll. Roll for me.
51.
51. So you take a moment before you do anything. And you go, okay, is there really any reason that I should have a sense of what direction to go? For example, you think, okay, does it feel particularly cold or suggesting I'm far north?
Yeah.
You have to be along the line of the mountains. You have to be.
Right.
And so north or south are, broadly speaking, the two options.
Okay.
And so like you look around, you feel the temperature and so on, but nothing comes to you. I just wanted to give you the benefit of those analyses.
Quinn did say makes a good point about the sun. I don't know how much he's United on like metagaming and stuff, but he does say about the sun. Maybe Brise would know that. What direction
That's
I've gone in.
interesting. Well, see, you're going north and south.
Right.
I don't know.
So if the sun is now in my yeah, I don't know if it would make any sense. Because depending on which direction I'm facing.
I'm going to disapprove the question, Quinn, because she doesn't have sufficient skills to make full use of that being a possibility.
That's fair.
But you're welcome to come up with another one.
I know where the master bedroom is in the mansion, but I hells don't know how to tell my direction.
That's right.
Philandrel.
That is, you just made up a word. Karen Manus Pennings. That sounds familiar. Do you know Obi-Wan? Huh. I don't know.
Manus Pennings, I've heard, is a very common last name, though.
It is. It's all over the place. There's an author on Amazon. If you search for Manus Pennings, there's an author on Amazon. He's not very good, but you could. No, actually, he's fantastic. So the Trinidos is what you're thinking of. Is it Manus Pennings? Is that anyway? Miss Manus Pennings, and it's that is a. I mean, that really is a great solution. That would be a great role. And you know what? Although I don't know if you want to waste these player miracle rolls. I got a little gnat in here. He's not in danger. He's just sidetracked. Right. You probably want to save it when Aluktu is mounting him or something. I mean, it's going to be, when it's really bad. I don't mean mounting you sexually. I mean mounting you on the wall like a trophy. But But I did say Quinn could come up with another one. So Quinn, if you've got an idea, I'll allow it. I'll regard it, consider it. And in the meantime, let's roll for your search on the mountaintops.
Mm-hmm.
That is a surprisingly level space up there. And you're thinking either that's out of my mile range of the detect shelter spell, but I'm guessing there's a mine near there. That is way too level to be natural. Now, it's also possible the mine is collapsed, but either way, that could mean a road.
Yeah.
Let's find out. So that you found a great spot.
Okay. We're going to try one more teleport over there.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Obi-Wan. I thought you guys knew each other. Anyway, you guys should chat to each other. So you think that's the way to go?
Yeah, try teleporting
right.
flat top on another mountain.
Absolutely.
Roll the teleport. 62.
All right, perfectly solid. Take off your exhaustion. And roll to aim. Always much easier. I mean, just don't blow it.
82.
No problem. Boom. Make it there.
Garlic knots. No, sorry.
Wait. No, Karen Manus Pennings does not get her roll because I don't want to do this very often until it's a really big issue. And this isn't as big of an issue as, say, like if his life were like her life were like really in danger.
Yeah.
So
I do have other ways of surviving and of possibly finding ways. So we're just looking for inspiration. Yeah. Not necessarily saving my life.
Boom. You're there.
Nice.
Takes you a minute to get oriented. Look around. Clearly, an abandoned road of some sort. not been cleared in a while, has some evidence of fallen rock, plenty of leaves, that sort of thing. Does seem to be an animal trail through the leaves, which is not surprising if they leveled this area for a road, that the animals would use it too. Looks like there's a pile of abandoned timbers, heavy timbers. It's got to be a mine around here somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so here. Okay, so here is a here's an interesting suggestion from Quinn for the miracle roll.
Yeah, I do.
Does Verilag show up looking for Brise and curious why she's suddenly so far from where she was? Now, here's the reason I have to disallow that. And that is I've already rolled Verilag's next appearance. Although, you know what? Sure. That doesn't mean it can't be happened early. So that's fine. That's fine. Quinn, I'll allow your guest miracle roll.
Wait a second. I don't know if I want this.
Oh, that's not your choice. Just like it's not your choice when she actually would have showed up.
That's true, I guess. It's like an anti-miracle.
I don't see how it violates the spirit of the game. And it's not as though your character was assuming you were never going to see her again. So, all right, Quinn, give us the roll. And we, of course, I trust you. So give me a roll and let me know what it is. If anyone wants to do a drum roll, now would be the time. Arpen, Obi-Wan. I don't know if I trust Karen Manus Pennings, but you know, if she's got time. But oh, that's true. And Max can do a miracle, a drum roll. He can add a drum roll to that. I don't know how to do emojis. I'd never use them because I don't care. There you go, Max. Boom. And now Quinn is saying, "Oh Jesus," which sounds like his dice fell into his groin. And let's be honest. Again, fell into his groin again. 51. Wom wom.
Met me halfway.
Well, they
never like thought about it, but then she.
Right. I sensed something in the force. It's fine. Well, thank you, Quinn. That's a really legitimate one.
Noble effort, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pun right there. Noble effort.
All right. Well, I guess I'm on my own then.
So, I guess we're back to the other Karen sounds sketchy. She does draw, yes. You've got some trees growing here. You know, they flattened it down to the rock and there's some erosion. So you don't get a lot of plant growth here, mostly grasses and tough scrubs, but a lot of the trees that may have been here, you know, they have been cleared and now the ground's just too hard for them to find purchase. Just kind of explore, shield and spear.
Yeah.
You work your way around, you know, various irregularities in the rock and so on. You do indeed come to a mine.
Okay.
Roll for me.
5.
All right. Roll again and subtract it.
Minus 59.
All right. So, given the height of the mine, you realize that you must be relatively in the same, what was it, latitude? The height of the mine seems the height of a dwarf more than the height of an elf.
Okay.
The northern part of these mountains would have been elf territory before the goblins took over.
Right.
The central part of Nargaz and then to the south would all be dwarven mined. And so the mines would be somewhat shorter.
Right.
Your Quinn, you're such a goofball. That leads you to conclude you must be in around your region or to the south. And obviously to the south makes more sense given you couldn't teleport. Now you don't know how wide the mountains are. But if it's supposed to be getting more arid, the further you
Mhm.
go, at least the further you go east, this does not seem an arid region at all.
Yeah.
So it seems like you must be very far south, and in fact, out of Narguz entirely. You must be in the dwarven nation of Avalar.
Definitely feel. All right.
BB is back.
Feel like I'm an Avalar. Okay. Okay. What?
You know what? Give me a roll. We'll do like a sort of a geography roll here.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, how long is that nation?
55.
55. So, not a real sense of it. Oh, God. Roll for me again.
22.
Okay. Well, it is a potentially correct conclusion that you missed, but it wouldn't be good for you to realize it anyway. It would just deepen your worry. So, who cares, right? It would just make you
Okay.
glummer.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm interested in looking out about finding a
yeah,
vantage
just
point.
take every vantage you can, right? And
Yeah.
and glean what you can.
Yeah.
Wow, there is definite roads here. You know, dwarves must have made these. I mean, yeah, there's some rockfall on them, but
Hmm.
not a lot. They got it down to the hard rocks, so there's a lot of vegetation. I mean, it's easy to traverse and work your way on the switchback.
Nice.
See, yeah, it's mostly switchback. So you can begin working your way down. This is, let's see, can you see much of the road? No, but every time you turn a corner and another stretch of road shows up, it's just in great shape.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've got some brush overhang and so on, which is fine. You know, if it's, you know, it is considerably chillier up here. You're about halfway up the mountain. So the snows are still, I mean, they're still somewhat above you. So you really do hold your cloak tighter.
Yeah.
Man, you're going to definitely need a big fire tonight.
Mm.
Unless you make it down to the valley. So the pace is great. Eventually, it turns you out of your valley, that just sheer pit,
Yeah.
and you begin turning to the far valley.
Okay.
The valley, beyond. That's turning it's a valley further east. That valley, there is smoke on the horizon. There are clearly several small communities in this valley. Clearly some area of farms, and at least a valley over. There's significant smoke, a larger town, you would think, not a city, because it would just cover more of the horizon. But there is, you've got small communities in this valley and at least a large town in the next one.
The immediate and large.
Oh, I guess the next question is place to teleport to from here.
Yeah.
How are you on magical energy and just energy?
So, but before I do that, so this is facing the eastern valley. Is it possible like it might wind further around, or no? Is it probably just gonna?
Thus far, it's these roads have kept you on the east side of the mountain.
Yeah, it's kind
The
of my
west,
best bet unless the west side is invisible to me. Yeah.
so yeah, this that was seemed much more, and this valley seems much more hospitable. Also,
Yeah.
there's larger flat land. It's capable of supporting farms, whereas that other one was higher up. It was so rugged. I mean, they really wanted, even if you would escape the caves, they were perfectly happy for you to starve to death.
Yeah. Really.
You know,
Mm.
um,
So I'm at 35 exhaustion. So another teleport will really wear me out.
and
Um,
it may be you just walk the rest of the day and rest. Of course, the
yeah.
problem is, I mean, I guess maybe you teleport and rest. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm thinking is I teleport, make as much distance, and then rest. The only thing is I'm going to be tired if I come across something. Is at a disadvantage.
you can make out a field in the valley.
Okay.
It's a large enough farm such that the trees, between you and it and your elevation, it's got enough clearing. You could teleport in the middle of a field.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Let's see. Yeah, it's crops, not pasture. Too far to see if there's individuals. You can't even make out the house. And that would get you to the bottom of the valley, get you to warmth. And then
Yeah, for
surely
sure.
there's a road connecting that farm to these other small communities.
For sure. Yeah. That seems like the best bet. Now, just so it sounds like I want to go. If I get lost at all, east is the way to go because that's where that bigger town was in the next valley over.
Yes.
In case I get lost, so I'll keep that in
Yes.
mind. Um, got it. Got it. All right. So one last teleport then, getting down to that field. Wait. 25.
Oh, that would be 12 exhaustion.
Okay. It's a 10 to aim.
It's all right. I mean,
All right.
that's not great. It's not as far into the field as you wanted. It means you sort of lost your concentration. Your eyes darted to a part of the field that's probably toward the back of the farm.
Right.
But hey, you know what? That means you can get off their land faster. Fine, right? Boom, you're there. Yeah, it's crops coming up. You're standing on them. You kind of feel bad, and you just you're about
Scan
30
my
feet.
surroundings.
Yeah. So it's an elf in the distance.
Mhm.
There's a pasture you can make out from this angle close to the trees.
I would have teleported with my spear and shield in hand, by the way, so I would have
Okay.
those out. When...
Actually, you may not want to since you're teleporting into civilization.
Oh, you think?
Well, if you're going to pop up, right, you don't want to be popping.
Yeah, true. I guess I would have had him put away. I was thinking if there's any creatures nearby.
You might take your shield, just wrap your cloak, and then grab your shield. With your cloak, your shield hand.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then just put the spear on your back, and at least you've got your defenses out, and you can always zap if you want to. You can always use your channeling if.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll just make sure my shield's at the ready, disguised.
So again, teleport, fine. Look around. It's a male elf. He is grabbing sheep and flopping them down, and he's checking checking the sheep over. He's way across to the next field, and it's a large field, so he's a football field or more away.
Yeah.
His back is to you. And you are, I mean, you're beat. You know, you're at penalties for action. I'm subtracting, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, is there any structure? Like, so the house might not be nearby. It might be.
No, but this close, you should be able to see smoke. You don't happen to see smoke.
Okay. So I'll just
So
start.
just maybe the winds are scattering it in this area.
Yeah. I'll just walk towards this guy then. Oh, gentleman. Hope he's a gentleman.
So you don't want to walk across this field, right? Because the crops are planted.
Oh, I want to.
Stomp. My dad would get.
Can you give me a place to?
We would want to go play in the fields after Dad had plowed them.
Yeah.
When we grew up on the farm, he would be so mad at us. He's like, "It's for plants, okay? You're stomping on plants. Get out of the." But it's all that soil. Oh, it's so.
Yeah,
fun.
it looks so fun. Yeah.
We would like dig through, like, you know, you get these furrows, right, with a field.
Yeah.
And so if you're careful and you dig through, you could do like a tunnel through a mountain kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'd take our matchbox cars and we go through. Oh God, we loved it. Loved it.
I'll just march toward this guy, being careful to not step on any of his foods.
Yeah. So you just go to the edge, walk up toward him. You decide that you probably want to go. If you go to this edge, he's not going to be able to see you approaching. You want him to see you approaching. So you go to the edge is actually further away from him, so that he'll, you know, if he turns around, he can see you and you can call out to him. So so he's very engrossed in his activity. You get to about 100 feet away, and you figure you don't want to startle him, so you just need to call out.
Yeah.
Language? What language?
Call out in. What language do I know? Do I know Elven? I do. I call out in Elven. You know, good day. Fine weather we're having.
He jumps, looks around, finds you. He's not armed at all except for a working knife or a dagger. He stands and looks at you. He raises a hand to you and just looks at you.
I'm asking him if, so I'll just say that I've been wandering these, I'm a little bit lost, looking for a place to stay, willing to pay. You have a home you're willing to offer, and maybe some directions to the next town.
We don't take strangers in at my place. Roll for me.
98.
He has a very strong goblin accent. I can show you the road. What you do with it is your business. And he starts heading toward you.
Okay.
Just not a very friendly guy.
Well, you know, I might just try another little persuasion here. I want to answer him in Goblin. What would I say? Just to try to persuade him. It's like,
would any of your neighbors take me in?
Well, I was even just trying to persuade him. It's like, we don't have to be strangers, you know. Maybe.
I'm not sure that's the approach to take.
No,
there. Hello. Oh, we don't have to be strangers.
Okay.
There's a comfortable section of woods just over there, very private.
You know what I mean? Just try to dissuade his fear of. I'm like armored and stuff. It's like this armor.
I see you have a spear too.
Give me some of this.
And you enjoy scat.
Okay. Well, show me the road. Yeah. Well, then I'll ask him, like you said, in kind tone. Well, is there anyone else who'd be, perhaps when your neighbors who'd be willing to accommodate me?
None of us have much use for strangers, particularly that appear uninvited out of the woods. What's your business wandering the woods?
I don't think I'm going to convince this guy anything. So
He's about 20 feet away. He
Yeah.
gestures to go through a gate.
Okay.
And I mean, he's willing to walk with you, whatever. He's sort of keeping a distance on you. He's definitely keeping an eye on you.
Yeah. I was writing as a goblin accent. I just wrote, has a very strong goblin. Look, my pet goblin.
It's
Very
a
strong.
farmhand. It's a farmhand.
Exactly. Just what would I say? He's not going to be kind to me, so I'm not going to tell him anything. Like, my business is my own, but just show me the road and I'll be out of your way then.
So you guys walk in silence. Soon the road comes into view. There's a farmyard off beside the house, mounds of firewood chopped.
Mhm.
His house is off to the left. Small. There is no fire going. There is a house across the way from his. He points east and he says, Cambry lies that way. If you take a left and go north at the fork, that way. Goes much further north. It's a smaller place. Maybe they're used to strangers. And that's Ajul. I will send you those names.
Yeah. I just because generally not a trustworthy person anyway. What do I feel about these? Does it feel like he's lying to me at all, or has some other ulterior motive?
His motive, you really feel, is to get rid of you. So,
Okay.
in fact, it's in his best interest to give you accurate.
Sounds good. Then that's good. Okay. And let me get that right. So it said, take a left, go north of the fork, and then the road continues on to Ajul.
No, that's Cambry. Ajul is also to the north. If you go west on the road, that road swings toward the mountains and then curves north, and it goes much further farther north than Cambry, apparently.
Got
it seems to be, and probably it must be on the other side of the valley, since of course the roads go. This road apparently cuts somewhat across the valley.
Okay.
So they're both north of this position. It's just on opposite sides of the valley.
Right. I'd rather go eastward anyway. Okay, well, that's my best bet, is to find some civilization. So I'll have a good day, and
you know what?
On my way.
I should back up because there's an obvious question here. Both the home that he lives in and the home across the way are of goblin design. They're goblin roundhouses.
Oh.
So you must be it must have been mistaken about the mines.
Yeah.
There's no, you must be very far north.
Now I want to ask him, am I in Nargos? What nation am I in? What year is it?
It's like the Doctor Who episodes where he always has to ask the year.
Yeah.
What year is it? And Tom Baker's great response in one episode is, well, yeah, she must know the year. It's a simple enough question. What's wrong?
Yeah.
They like to call it Nargaz. Though I still think of it as the Elven States.
Hmm.
How could you not know that?
I don't need to answer that. Is there a clever response from either? And it's just wander far sometimes.
Have you tried these shrooms? They are amazing.
Dude, that mountain, I was as high as there.
Oh my God. That's so good. That's so good.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, let me excuse myself from this guy and not lose any more time talking to him.
Sure. So now that you must be far north in Nargaz. What does that do for your decisions in terms of which town to go to or anything for that matter?
I have no idea because I don't know where. So let me look at the map because I can't remember. It's really weird. So I thought I was here in Avalar, but I'm actually a lot further north, still in Nargaz.
You must be right. So you were in southern Nargaz, and now it looks like you must now be in pretty far north.
Oh, I think I've gone
Maybe central, but
okay.
Roll for
I
me.
think I've gone far north. Now in north or central. Okay. Okay. No, I mean, I guess I still just need to head towards civilization. It doesn't really make a difference. At least it's good that I might be closer than I previously thought. I'm still seeing
Oh, roll for me.
Melbourne architecture and everything. 79.
I mean, it may not be relevant, but it is just associated that you recall that one of the returning locations from the Unmouth was in extreme northern Nargaz.
Oh, was it?
So that is, remember, there are services there that can
Yeah.
transport you instantly to the surface.
Yeah.
One of those services did say it was almost on the northern the frontier, really.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I do remember you mentioning that. So.
Sorry, I keep fiddling with my camera, everybody.
Yeah. Well, then I think we'll start heading east and just try to find a place
Cambry.
to stay. Yeah, Cambry, if I can make it. I guess it still is probably like morning or afternoon.
Yeah, it would be probably early afternoon, although, you're ready to call it a day.
Yeah, it's not exhausted him. So I'm ready just to like walk until I find someone who will take me in, basically. Or strike camp. Make camp and strike camp.
Yeah, strike camp would be legal.
I was thinking of like strike a match, like, okay, let's start it, but it's
sure. In drama, it's strike the set. That's what you do in the last performance. Which I don't know if you've ever helped strike a set. I had a great time, though. The only time I've done it, I did in college. I really had a good time.
I've seen some people striking like setup sets, but I've never participated in the activity.
So yeah, a lot of goblin style homes. You do now see elven style homes. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad, you're glad you got corrected, right?
Yeah. Sure. I have a story
So,
about that. Thinking I was in one place and like start heading in the other direction. Then you realize you're further than
right.
the worst feeling ever.
So you you walk until just before dark.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2, 3, 4 hours. No real trouble. And you make it to this little town,
Okay.
predominantly goblin, some elves, some Pen, pretty clearly.
Hmm.
Um, um, there's an inn and games room called the Gold Fist here in
Okay.
Cambry. It's the first one you come across off the main drag. Um, head in,
Yeah.
fairly empty. There is essentially a ring with ropes around it for combatants
Nice.
on either side of the bar, and then there's a big fire in the back. It's a middle-sized inn. All the rooms seem to be upstairs. It's a Pen owner. Or operator, because this is a teenage girl with the black hair of her people, swarthy complexion, but a real young beauty, not much younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks to you in Goblin and says, "Do you speak the local tongue?"
I do well enough. And I
More
ask,
than that, I'd say.
yeah, any rooms you have, or
Plenty.
say, okay, let's put me down for 3 nights, just for
You
now.
don't think I'll be here for 3 nights, do you?
I don't think so, but might as well just do it.
Right.
It's cheap anyway.
Oh, I gotta find my. See, I can never remember how much an inn is at a room. A room is.
Well, I've got here the in Convergence, it's 3 coppers a night for.
So here it'd be a little bit less, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 copper.
Right. And then.
Oh, we didn't have you eat lunch. You probably ate lunch on
Yeah.
the mountain.
Probably.
So probably, probably erase a meal there then.
And
And
then
then
I'll
you
have
can do a
something
meal
here.
here.
Yep.
What do you want to call it?
Yeah, I think really quick, is there any adventurers or people sitting down?
No, there's only a couple of farmers or merchants. I mean, it's that kind of. It's really empty.
That
Hopefully,
vibe,
though,
yeah.
when dark hits, people will be coming in for their suppers and
Right.
and for a smoke and things like that. And so, of course, merchants are the one you really want to talk to if in terms of like long distance travel. The merchants will have a better sense of that. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, yeah, we can just call it here, and then next session we'll just do waiting around for somebody or going to sleep if I need.
right. So, all right. So, well, here we are at the end of episode 36 with Brise somewhat lost after an anti-burglary system sent him on his merry way well over 100 miles to the north. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us, and we always appreciate your support. As always, you can check out Brise's notes and character sheet And you can always hop to our new website and as well as give us a little donation to help keep us streaming. As always, thanks to Elliot Dunovitz and her terrific art. You can find links to her work. Um, I love how it just makes me seem like the biggest asshole by putting my face up there every time. But also check out Max's YouTube channel where he talks about the role of music in games and how it affects the mood of the game and everything. He's generating regular material that is of excellent quality. And hey, I wrote a novel that I'm pretty proud of. You can find it on Amazon. You'll see it pictured there. A Short Too Far. And as always, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be back next week, barring incident, for episode 37. Max, what do you want to say to these lovely people?
I forgot. I was going to say something. I forgot.
It's a lot of
well, you know what I'll just say is that I hope you enjoy the kind of unexpected turn. It was interesting, and we'll see if I can make it back next time, or maybe I'll hang around with the Nargas for a little while. Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks everyone for coming out. Spend your Karandrin points wisely. Invest. And yeah, hope to see you next week.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It's been fun, and we will see you next time.